for Webinar Wednesday. My name is Kirsty Stephen. I am an Assistive Technology and Additional Support Needs teacher at Call Scotland. Delighted to be joined today by an old friend of Call's, Bob Sagu from Pretorian. Afternoon, Bob. Lovely to have you with us today.
Good afternoon, Kirsten. Good afternoon, everybody. I thought I'd put a face to the voice. It's not a pretty face, I acknowledge that. I'm hoping I'm not putting you off whenever if you're having a cup of coffee while catching the webinar, but I just want to say hello to everybody and thanks for taking the time to sign up and hear about a bit more about SimplyWorks. So I'm going to switch my camera off and let's make sure we're infinitely more comfortable. But if we're all ready to kick off, I'll kick things off.
Yeah, great I'll just say before we start that the session is being recorded today. We've had a lot of sign-ups and they're far-reaching every corner of the globe, so people will be catching up later on, I have no doubt. So if you have any questions during the webinar, please pop them into the chat and we'll get to those at the end. All right. Thanks very much, Bob.
Cool. Right, so kicking things off. As it says on that opening page, SimplyWorks, it is a fully integrated, a wireless assistive tech solution that Pretorian have put together, as it were. So I'm just going to flick on over to the next slide and then realise that my clicker's not working. There we go. A bit about myself, very briefly. So my role is UK and international sales with Pretorian. I've been in the industry for over 14 years in the ATA/AC aspect. Based here in the UK, but I do travel a lot. Pretorian has a global footprint, and we export to over 60 countries. And the one-size-fits-one ethos is a very brief explanation. It is something where we look at the individual rather than using that one-size-fits-all sort of like explanation. We make sure that our solutions can be tailored to that individual, or a solution which involves our products can be tailored to that specific situation or need, as it were. So that's what the one-size-fits-one ethos comes on. People that know me will know what this next slide is alluding to. But there's my son, whose name is Harchie. He is an iGaze user. He prefers the term non-speaking as opposed to non. Sorry, Kirsten, is that okay? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, it did. Yeah. It just took a minute to switch over, but it has gone now. Okay.
Oh, great. Okay, cool. He prefers the term non-verbal, non-speaking. So I get shot if I say non-verbal, but he prefers non-speaking. And he's been a user of AT and AAC for a number of years. So that's him. We as a company, as a manufacturer, as an OEM, we have probably one of the largest ranges of assistive tech products, and there's just a sample of what we do. I'll let you have a glance through there. There are things like mouse alternatives. You've got the wireless, wide and wireless switches, SimplyWorks, which I'll be talking about today, and we do AAC, plants control, and so forth. So, and assistive gaming watcher right in the middle, which will be on a later webinar later this month. So skipping forward. These are some characteristics that run through the entire Pretorian range. So plug and play in the true sense. So the products I'm showing you are going to be running through today and the rest of the range, there is no driver software required. So if it's on a closed network, for example, in a school, you'll be able to access these solutions. There won't be any need for any additional software to be downloaded as such. All of our solutions are MDR compliant, and ISO 9001 compliant, but in the design element, we've made sure that they're designed to be used in a robust fashion, as it were, and ergonomically, they work for the user. So it's not a mainstream solution, adapted to the SEN sector. These are solutions that have been designed specifically for keyboard reader access for individuals with alternative access requirements. Wired, wireless, we do, both solutions are very stable. We get renowned for our power saving mode, as it were, which built into all of our devices, whether it's lithium battery powered or conventional battery cells. It has, inherently engineered some automatic power saving modes. Great for when you're using it Not so great when you're doing demonstrations and after a certain amount of time everything powers off and you have to wake it back up again. But you know, I'd rather have that issue rather than it just running out of power, as it were. So yeah, the power saving modes are great. The other 2 points you can sort of see, because I'm concerned that we've got a relatively small amount of time. Innovation and evolution, and as I say, we are truly inspired by you and you know, our users and everybody within the assistive tech sector, as it were. So moving on. So here's a SimplyWorks sort of spectrum or range of products, as it were. So you've got things where it gives you computer access. You've got communication there with the Smooth Talker. You've got mains powered device control, and you've got toy control. But you've got there's a good mix of the products that we have, and again, it's a completely wireless sort of solution. And you know, I'll take a deep dive into each of the products, but we found it be incredibly popular, and you know, a number of our solutions are being used in different sort of scenarios and circumstances, whether it's home, you know, in a school environment, in a work environment, it could be in a care home facility. Such there are so many different solutions that of ours are being utilised in so many great ways. So skipping forward. So what does it do? It just allows access to computers and tablets, and I like the 3 areas that you really sort of 4 areas you can cover: a toy or maintenance compliance control, AAC, and computer access, as it were. Again, it is easy to set up, and I think that is something that does run through the entire product range of Pretorian. We understand that, you know, from end users to individuals that work with end users, don't have the time or the capacity to sometimes have to spend time setting up a particular device. So we make it incredibly easy to do. Hence, obviously, the name, we call it SimplyWorks, because it is that. It just does what it says on the tin. The cool thing is it can be configured again for single use or for a multi-user access. And the last point is very true. It is as flexible as, you know, as your imagination. I'm trying to remember what I put that QR code for. I think the QR code is, if you want to scan to where is a QR code comes up, it takes you to our website, and it takes you to our SimplyWorks, the SimplyWorks range within our website. So if you do want to scan that QR code, it'll take you directly to the SimplyWorks range on our website. So starting with computer access, we've got the SimplyWorks Receive and Receive 2. So what basically a Receive is, it is as it says, it's a receiver. So you can plug it into a standard USB-A port on a PC, on a Mac, on a Chromebook. It all functions the same. So they both function the same way. So the Receive and the Receive 2 are just different presentations. So the Receive is the one with the sort of like beige color with a USB cable coming out the back, and the more dongle presentation is the Receive 2. They both work the same way. If you've got a solution where you need a device and it's plugged into a PC that's not really moving around, maybe the Receive is a better option. But if you want a mobile solution where you plug it into a laptop or such, then the Receive 2 is that presentation might be an ideal choice. But they function the same way, they're priced the same way, so there's no differential as far as that. But here's a key thing. So a receiver is what you're seeing in the picture. Transmitters are basically the input devices, whether it could be a trackball, a joystick, a switch, a kinetic switch, and switch interfaces. Those are classed as transmitters. And so you can actually connect up to 6 transmitters to one receive. I always get asked this question: what happens if you try and connect a 7th? And what it does is it drops the first device that's been connected and replaces it with the next device. So you can keep connected to a different device. It'll just drop I believe the first device that was connected to it. It'll drop that and connect the device you're wishing to connect to. So yeah, and like it says, in any order. So if I go to the next slide, so your simple switch access here, for example. You have 2 switches configured. So you have one configured for space, one configured for enter, and at the bottom of these switches, you have the ability to switch the function, and there's a display on each switcher, and you've got the options of a mouse function, keyboard, or gamepad switch functions. So you can actually set these switches, like it says there, space with a receive, and really simple. If you're accessing some switch adapter software, let's say, for example, it's Help Kids Learn. I'm not trying to plug there, but it's a great piece of software. You've got Help Kids Learn or any other sort of switch adapter software. You can set these wireless switches to give you computer access, as it were. Top right hand corner, we do two 75mm wireless smoothie switches with a receive too, and that's something you can actually get off the website, and that's a really nice little presentation solution which gives you a really portable and simple switch access solution. So yeah, on the website you can find the receive 2 and the 2 switches, the bundle as such, on there. So that's simple switch access, and again that's receive or the receive 2, and up to 6 switches. Cursor and keyboard. So if you've got a user who has that cognitive ability to utilize a cursor, then we have the SimplyWorks joystick and trackball. And again, you'll see how this you can configure that to however way you wish. If you want to, the great thing about our joystick and trackball solutions, you can alter the speed. You can add, you've got drag and drop, which is the blue little icon in the middle between the left and right click. You can change the left and right clicks around, so make it so it's ambidextrous left-hand users, and you can adjust the cursor speed as well. So there's a lot of functionality that's built into trackball and joystick solutions. But yeah, you can then pair that with perhaps a keyboard, which is what we do, the SimplyWorks keyboard, which will connect again to the receiver, the receive 2, and then you've got, for example, 2 switches that could be set for left click or right click or drag lock. So you've suddenly got a really sort of comprehensive computer access sort of solution utilizing joystick, switches, and a keyboard. And I've got a video that's later on of one of our users, Clive, accessing a keyboard, accessing a joystick, and showing how that works. So yeah, cursor and keyboard access, computer access. This is one of my favorites. I love demonstrating this on especially in a classroom environment with an interactive whiteboard. So you've got essentially 1 receive, and you've got 6 access devices. For example, in this case, in this graphic, you've got 6 trackballs. So if you were doing a classroom activity and it's role playing, turn taking, as it were, each of the individuals in the class could have an access device, and if it's answering a question or selecting an option on the interactive whiteboard, they can do that, and then the next person can have a go, and then the next person have a go, the next person have a go. So great. This slide I've done on a number of occasions, replicated that, and it could be joysticks, it could be a switch, a wireless switch, a smooth switch, it could be a trackball, it could be a number, it could be a kinetic switch, which we'll come on to later on. There are so many different options that you can utilize. Also, you could have for example, a SEN, which is essentially allows you to turn a wired switch into a wireless switch. That could be also another option with regards to access, as it were. So the multi-user sort of like scenario is a great scenario for access. And just one thing with regards to SimplyWorks and the connectivity. I get asked a lot, well, why didn't we look at Bluetooth? The issue with Bluetooth is when you get to a certain distance, I think over 10 meters, it starts to have some conflicts, as it were. And also, when you've got a number of Bluetooth devices working all together, sometimes that can cause an issue. With the radio frequency we use, which is 2.4 gigahertz, the range is great. It doesn't rely on line of sight. And I'll give you a scenario that I utilize with my son. He has a SimplyWorks MIDI switch downstairs where I'm talking to you now, actually. And in his bedroom, he has a lamp that's plugged into a mains controller device, the iClick. He can select, activate the switch downstairs, and will switch on a lamp that's plugged into the iClick. He'll then go into his 3-floor lift up to the bedroom and into bed. And that is set on a timed delay. So what will happen is it'll stay on for about 40 minutes, 45 minutes, I think, and then it'll switch off on its own. That gives him a huge amount of independence, but it's a completely wireless solution, but it's working through the ceiling, as it were. There's no wires, but it picks up that detection from activating the switch. It switches on the lights upstairs in his bedroom. So as I say, it doesn't have to be line of sight. I've done presentations where I've just been playing around with how far I can go. I've done 25 meters. It was a long room that I was in, and it worked fine. Even stepped out of the room just through a single door, and I got activation. So range isn't an issue, and also the number of transmitters isn't an issue either as well. So yeah, a really versatile solution. Okay, this is Harriet, and she is using, she's my friend Chris's daughter, and she's using a wireless smoothie switch to access some switch adapted software. So hopefully this will play. There you go.
There's no ducks. No ducks. Can we have some ducks, please? Can we have some ducks, please? You ready? Cover your hand. 1, 2, good girl. 1 duck.
I should have warned you about her. In fact, she's got a beautiful laugh. So she's awesome. And then we've got, this is live. This is the video I was talking to you about utilizing SimplyWorks joystick. There we go. Okay, and the next video, I think, is Clive showing drag and drop, which is always a good one. So yeah, it's a great illustration, both the videos just showing what you can do with a joystick presentation with regards to, it says Optimo, but it is also applicable to the SimplyWorks joystick and our joysticks in a whole. Drag and drop, pretty much everything you can do with a mouse, you can do with our mouse alternative being a trackball or a joystick. And this is the last one. This is a Bluetooth solution that I thought I'd include there. This is Eddie in the US, and she's using her Blue Line joystick to access her maths app on her iPad. So I think what Eddie's got in that sort of situation is she's got the joystick set on dual click, so she maneuvers the icon over to whichever she wanted to select, and then you can set the time where it'll actually select that particular icon that you're hovering over. So you don't, if for example you can't access the small switches or the small buttons at the top, and all of our joysticks and trackballs have switch access on either side, switch ports either side, which you can plug a standard switch into. So you can actually replicate left and right click if you can't, or drag and drop if you can't access the buttons at the top. But the dual click function is really cool, and that's available across the range of our joystick and trackball solutions, including SimplyWorks. This is the product I mentioned earlier on, Send. So this basically turns a wireless switch into a wired switch, a wired switch into a wireless switch. So anything that's got a conventional 3.5mm end to it, and we've just launched a new graph switch. We have a leaf switch, but a sip and puff switch, even a pillow switch. Anything that has a standard 3.5mm jack on the end can be plugged in to the Send interface, and And then you can use any particular wireless switch, be it 75mm, 125mm, which is the two smoothie switches, to activate and control those as up. So yeah, the send is a great option for turning a wide switch into a wireless switch via the SimplyWorks aspect. And then toy control. We have the control plug, which then gives you the ability to control a device, but not just switch it, not just a latched operation or direct operation. You've got latched, you've got timed. So you've got lots of different activities that you can do with the control pro, rather than just a direct on and off, as a direct sort of like remaining, keep contact with the switch and lefting off. You've got so many other options. And with the Pro, you've also got a cooperative feature as well, so two people can play together and do activities together. And the nice thing about the SimplyWorks joystick, I'm just worried about the time, is that it also is so sensitive you can actually utilize it as a bottle switch, which is really great for individuals that can't necessarily access a switch. And this is Harriet doing something else with the smoothie switch.
Well done. Oh, he's finished. Did you like that? You did some good clapping, I've got to say. Should we see what this switch does to beat both? Good girl. Oh, look. You started beat both singing. Oh. I know. Oh, can we have some more, please? Can we have some more? Good girl. That's it.
I always love that video because it's a slide little camera where before she hits together, but the smoothie switches was really cool. But yeah, it's a really good illustration using the control to with the smoothie switches to access that the Bebo toy. Appliance control. So we're getting near the end, as it were. So we've got iClick, which I mentioned earlier on, which my son uses, and this basically anything with a plug that's used in a sort of like in a home environment, as it were. You can plug into the iClick, and then you've got a wireless access to it via SimplyWorks. The iClick also works with the iPad, so it turns the iPad into a switch as well, and that works on Bluetooth. But you have a number of settings with iClick. So the word, the advice on utilizing your mains controller or appliance controllers, as long as you've got a plug and you've got a toggle switch on it, pretty much you can access it using a switch access with the appliance controller. So yeah, with iClick, gives you a range of activities you can access, just from switching something on and off to accessing activities in a classroom environment, as it were, and also great for life skills and such. So yeah, really nice. A nice solution, but part of the SimplyWorks sort of range of solutions as well. And that's really cool. At the very bottom, it says you can use it in a safe distance as well. Being wireless, be it SimplyWorks or Bluetooth, you can use it from a safe distance. So yeah, cool. I should think what else there is. Oh yes, this is Rupert, and I'll show you what he's using iClick.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rupert. Happy birthday to you. Oh, no. Wow. Yay!
So what Rupert did there was, you could probably hopefully tell out of the side of the camera, was he had an iClick with a fan connected to it. He uses, his dad brought the iPad close to him, and because it turns the iPad into a switch, he pressed the screen, and that activated the fan to blow out the candle on his birthday cake. So it's a really cool solution there. And I think we're running out of time. So very, very quickly, we're doing a ASC Solution Smooth Talker. That is also part of the SimplyWorks family, and you can pair it up with the control or the iClick. Again, with the AAC, you can connect it to the iClick and computer access as well. So it'll pair to the receive or receive to, and you can hit the button and it'll play an activation on the software and a player message as well. So, and then the last one I think is Activity, which is a freestyle music device that you can play different types of music. Supports single and two switch scanning, and it also works with the SimplyWorks wireless switches. And yeah, I think that's one for the future. I'm happy to run through, as it were. Kinetic, which is a wireless gyroscopic switch, and you've got all these sort of functions. Such I've put this inside dolls or cushions, and you've got a tap switch that you can work wirelessly, as it were. But that's a really cool solution. And that I don't know if we've got time for. I probably haven't, but that was my sign. And he wanted to say about how AT has supported him and how it's giving him the opportunity to access sort of stuff. So, Kirsty, we've got a minute. Well, it's less than a minute. It's about 10 seconds. Do you want me to play this video, or?
Do you know, it's such a powerful one. I think you should play it, Bob.
Okay.
I had a snapshot earlier.
My name is Archie and I am 17. I live in England. I have cerebral palsy, which affects my movement and speech. I use an eye gaze tablet to communicate. Being able to express myself and how I am feeling and showing I understand things has been very important to me. As I'm learning more about technology and how it can help me, I am starting to use more assistive technology to help me. Around the home and also at college, I can control things in my room and around the house, like the lights, heating, the doorbell and the TVs. I can also switch the shower on and change the temperature, which I like to do when my dad has a shower. I like playing video games with my friends. I play on my Xbox using my eye gaze. I am also using switches and joysticks. I want to start using my powered wheelchair. It's important to me to do some things myself. I'm excited about all the stuff I will be able to access and control. Being able to communicate and show I understand has been so important. Now I want to show what more I can do. Thanks for listening.
Always a shame. But
Brilliant.
it's, as I say, it's a powerful thing to say.
Yeah.
These are the people that we're, from our perspective, designing and putting solutions there for. So yeah, I think. Sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to say, just so that was a massive ask for you to get through all of that in 20 minutes, Bob. So well done. And if folk have any questions, please do feel free to pop them into chat. But Bob's popped up his contact details there for those who are watching on catch up. So do get in touch with him. Do reach out. I know he'll be more than happy to speak with you. Just while we're waiting to see if anyone who has joined us pops anything in, Bob, I just wanted to ask you if people wanted to trial anything, how would that work?
So what we do at Pretorian is if you drop us an email, as it were, and this is across the entire range for any products that you see. We do like I'd say it's a 90-day sort of return policy. So you can actually order something online, and I'd say online is the best way to do it. So we have a web shop on our website, and you can try it out. And if you really like it, great, you can keep it. If for some reason you try it out, so, I don't think this is sort of like for me. We have a no quibble policy. So all you need to do is let us know that you're returning it. And send it to us. If you cover the cost of sending it back to us, and we will restock that, put it back into stock, and refurb, and reimburse you the order value as well. So it's a way of trying a product out.
Yep. That's great.
Where you can actually sort of. It's almost like a risk-free try. You try it out. If it works, great. If it doesn't, I'll give you an example. I had an individual wanted to try the Enabler Pro, which is our joystick, a mouse alternative, but he wasn't sure if he wanted a joystick or a trackball, and we sent him both, and he was invoiced for both, and then for the trackball, which I kind of knew he would anyway, and he sent the joystick back to us for a full refund, and you have with up to sort of 90 days to try something out, but normally, you know, within a month, as long as it's in a resellable condition, we put it on the stock, and but that's a great way. So if there's anybody here in the UK that wishes to try that, utilize that, and that's the emphasis. It's just available to users here in the UK. But yeah, and also we go to. I'm going to a lot of events as such. So in the UK, I'm always. Yeah, in the nicest possible way. So if you follow us on social media, you'll know where we're going to be in person, and it might be an idea just to come down and have a look at some products. I mean, I always bring a lot of products. It's probably why my shoulder is in such a bad state, is because I take a lot of kit with me, because sometimes it's great to have all the solutions there so everybody can have a look at things, try things out.
See it and feel it, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I think it really made me think about the interactive whiteboard, and we have the presumption of mainstreaming, and interactive whiteboards not being interactive and certainly not being accessible. So I think there's real food for thought there. So listen, thanks very much for joining us today, Bob. That's been brilliant. Thank you to everyone who's joined us live. As I say, the recording will be sent out shortly, and next week we're going to be joined by Charlie Danger, an occupational therapist, going to be looking at eye gaze technology, so we'll look forward to that as well. So remains to say, have a good evening, everybody. Thanks very much. Bye now.